Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my coffee and crafts. Today we're going to be making some masculine cards. I call them masculine, but you know what? They could be for anybody. I have my cup of coffee. Do you have yours? Again, the Facebook thing, I cannot zoom in, so I don't know what's going on. Sorry, I have my coffee. So, if you want to get the make and take packets to make these 3 projects, just spend $35 in my online store by next Wednesday. Wednesday will be the last day that you can earn these ones, because then we're going to start another week on the other next week's. So I would send you the make and take packet that has all the supplies except for adhesive to make these 3 cards, and they're all geared towards a dad, I guess. And you would get the PDF tutorial as well. So let's start with this one. So this one has a toolbox with the tools, and then I just stamped the inside. So where are those? Where's that packet? You know, I tried to do everything, well, cut and stuff ahead of time. I have all my measurements. Look, I got these little nuts and bolts. And I think yesterday one fell out somewhere. So I think it's a good thing I made some extras, or die cut some extras. So we're going to start out with a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of pretty peacock, and you're just going to fold that in half or score it at 4 1/4. And then we have a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of cardstock. I mean designer series paper, but we're going to cut that. And let me get my trimmer. We are going to cut 2 inches off. So I'm using the Timeless Plaid. I love this, and I thought this was perfect. Plaid always reminds me of my dad. So we are going to use the same piece, but we're going to flip this side over. You know, designer series paper always has two sides, and they're always pretty patterns. So we're just going to glue this one towards the bottom. Good thing it's early in the morning, because yesterday evening we actually had a really nice day here. And so because of the heat, I have my windows right here. The glue was pretty juicy, and it was coming out, and I think kind of like melted. So I'm going to have to probably start moving where I keep it. Those spots, I just put lotion on my hands, which probably wasn't a good idea, but my hands are always so dry. Does anybody have a recommendation for a good glue? I did that a little bit of Cricut, but we're gonna use this piece to cover it up. And this piece is, did I write on this one? I did. I can't even see it with glare. 1/2 inch by 4 1/4. I wrote all my measurements on the back so I could be able to tell you what we were using. And this is, again, pretty peacock, and we just want to cover up that seam where the 2 met. Yesterday I had my in-person free card class. I want to say we all had a good time. I always forget to take pictures during the class. I always take them before, but I forget to take them after. Okay, so now we're going to get our basic white cardstock. And you know what? I have to pull out all my stamps because I can't get this undone. So let me know where you guys are watching from. I see you're on Joan Jordan. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna have to pull out all my stamps, because yesterday I was using all my blocks for the free class, but I forgot to block everything back up. So I'm just grabbing some blocks, and let's see, we're gonna need the wrench. I knew I had something else to do. I'm gonna put the hammer on this long one. Move these little nuts and bolts. I need the pencil. And then I'm gonna need the other side of the pencil, and we need the paintbrush. Okay, so we're gonna stamp all of these in Memento Black. This piece of paper is 5 inches by 3.5. It'll fit all of your tools. And the hammer, the wrench. So this stamp set, there's 2 wrenches. I know there's, that one didn't stamp good. I'll have to use the back side. I feel like I don't have ink on this. Maybe I should have re-inked. Yesterday for the class, I re-inked all my pads and they were pretty juicy for everyone. But I didn't re-ink Memento. I think we only used Memento on 1 card. Actually, I could probably fit the pencil across the top. And of course, there are dies for all of these, and we're going to color these in real quick. I have all my Stampin' blends over here. So really quick with the pencil, there is a fill-in stamp. The other ones have them too, but I wanted to use the blends, but we're just going to use this one. Or I'm stamping it in crushed curry. Or you can use the Stampin' blends. We don't have crushed curry, but you can use Daffodil Delight. Okay, so our paintbrush, we're just going to use Crumb Cake. And I'm just going to do these lines with the dark. Do those dots. And then with the light, we'll color in with the light. Oh, I made a mistake. This was supposed to be Smoky Slate. But we're just going to go, now it's all going to be Crumb Cake. But this would have been Smoky Slate because it would have been like the middle. My bad. And I love my Stampin' blends. I use them quite a bit. And then we're going to use this on the bristles as well. And this whole thing wouldn't have been like a brown tone had I done the Smoky Slate right. Do you think maybe I could fix it and go over it with Smoky Slate? I think we'll try. I'm going to do my dark. I don't know why I went straight to Crumb Cake. Is everybody doing well today? So like I said, I had my card class and we had a good time. I'm going to try the Smoky Slate real quick. So here's the dark. Put the dot, 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 dot. Do our lines. It just might be a little bit darker since I'm putting 2 colors on it. But we'll get that somewhat of a silver grayish color. It's okay. Good morning, Lisa. How are you? Are you in Minnesota yet? Or are you still home in Colorado? Okay, so let me get my Smoky Slate. So Lisa is my twin. We call each other a twin. We're both Lisas, obviously. I'm Lisa C and she's Lisa B. Okay, so I'm gonna do the wrench as well. Trying to think what I did with Smoky Slate. I just always kind of go over the dark and then I'll blend in the light. I should have colored a lot of this stuff in. So just a reminder, if you can't stay for the whole video, all my videos go on to my YouTube channel, which is LC Designs. And you can rewatch them there. They only stay on Facebook for 90 days. So you would have to go back and search like today's. If you do buy the, if you do spend the $35 in my online store and get the make and takes, the video link is on the tutorial as well. Okay, so my wrench is going to be real red. I don't know, sometimes men, they dip their tools in that plastic stuff and they're red. Or if it's a craftsman's tool, they have red. I could have did this all of the smoky slate, but I wanted color. Have you guys used this timeless plaid? And then now we're gonna do blueberry bushel on the hammer handle. Have you guys used this timeless plaid designer series paper? It actually goes with the, I believe, like the Storybook Moments. And I haven't used it because that Storybook Moments designer series paper is amazing in itself. Lately, Stampin' Up's been coming out with those, the designer series paper that has a lot of die cuts. I was working on my, my next sampler, and I'm using the Wildflower Birthday. I got the sniffles. I think it's the darn allergies again, so I'm sorry if I'm sniffling. I probably have to use my tape to hold these because I'm going to put all these dies on. Our pencil. And then if you want, I didn't grab Petal Pink, but you could do the top of the pencil in Petal Pink. Where is, I have so many dies for today's projects. And the hammer. I pulled out almost all of my trusty tools. I think I'm gonna need some more tape here. Almost all of my trusty tool dies. I was creating these. I was like, oh, I haven't used the hammer. And then lo and behold, I used the hammer. I did not take on the paintbrush. And all that crackling is normal for the die cuts. Okay, let's get all these out of the way. And my hammer. So that designer, I think I got all of them. So you know what, since I have the die cutting machine out, we will die cut our other pieces. So this is gonna be the toolbox bottom. And this piece is 3.5 by 1.5. And then we have our toolbox handle, 1.5 by 3.5. And then, I think, is that it on this one? And you know what? Since we got the silver, we're gonna do those nuts and bolts. There. This time we didn't snap, crackle, and pop. And so, oh, that got stuck. On our toolbox, I wanted to add some texture to it. So I am gonna score this piece every 1/4 inch. So this is a 1/4, and then just score it. And make sure you have your scoring tool and not the blade. So that's a 1/4, then this will be a 1/2, 3/4, and I think you're only gonna go up at, that's it. So just to add those score lines in there, just want it, like I said, to add some texture to it. So our handle, we're gonna go ahead and glue our handle to our toolbox. And we just need a little bit of glue. Okay, now it's not going to work. There it is. I go from having super juicy glue to glue not coming out. Okay. You're leaving Friday to Minnesota. Are they going to have better weather than Colorado? Did you guys get snow recently since you've been home? We were pretty cold, but we're finally warming up here. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue my tools behind my, in my toolbox. So the paintbrush I glued behind the handle, I should say. The pencil I glued in front. Maybe I need to hold these for a bit. Our hammer. It's like you do all this coloring and then we're covering it up, right? And why did I just get, I don't want to put that glue on my hands because then I won't be able to work, everything will start sticking to me. And then our wrench. Let's go a little lower. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wipe it off anyway, after I said that I wouldn't. And then, so I want to use some black mini dimensionals on this. Actually, that doesn't matter. I used black on my first ones, but you know what? We're going to cover those up with some metallic gems, so it doesn't matter. I was trying to cover up the holes, but we're going to add some metallic gems to make it look like rivets. And you can actually put some dimensionals on the tools. I hope you guys are seeing this pretty good and it's not so far. In my camera, it looks like I'm so far away. I can't zoom in. There's just, the good old Facebook goodies. So we're going to put our toolbox right there at the bottom. So I'm using the metallic gems, and on this one I use the silver because our handle is silver. You do use a lot. Well, there's 8 of them, so 8 little holes. But like I said, if you're not going to use gems, you could use the black dimensionals behind, and it'll cover the holes. Or you can find all those little tiny pieces that came out and refill it. It's whatever you want. And there's our toolbox. So now we're gonna stamp Dad in Pebbled Path. Take this off. Like I said, I need to pull all my stamps out. And this morning I was just kind of lollygagging instead of looking to see that I had everything. Well, I mean, I usually have everything, but I forgot that I didn't do my ink pads. So we're just going to trim around these letters because we're going to put Dad at an angle. I know some of us don't have our dad, so you could find another sentiment. There's the stamps that he's the greatest. There's a bunch of sentiments you can use from there. It won't be as big as Dad, but I know you can make it work. And we're just trim. Lisa, I got your postcard yesterday. Thank you so much. We had such a good time. I wish we had more time together in Raleigh. The time just went by so quick, and plus we were busy and I had to travel back and forth. I will not do that next year. Next year we're gonna get an Airbnb where we can all stay together. Okay, so there's our dad. We're just going to add some dimensionals. And I probably forgot to tell you what size that was because I could see my measurements, and it was 1 3/4 by 2 1/4 was the piece that I used for Dad. Let's take these dimensionals. I use a lot of dimensionals, and we're just gonna kind of put those at a slant. Hi, Denise. And I'm gonna, those nuts and bolts that we cut out, we're just gonna stick them on the letters. How are you doing, friend? We so missed you in Raleigh. So next year, demo or not, you're gonna meet us in California so we could do a girly trip. And Alessandra could be there too. I'm trying to turn this thing over. So for those of you who don't know what On Stage is Stampin's convention that we have once a year. Ooh, you guys could see my belly and everything. This video. Okay, so I used Thank You for the inside, and we did the nuts and bolts. Because you know, how often do we tell Dad thank you? Yes, Denise, it's going to be fun. I just got ink all over me, my fingers, so thank you. What is going on with my stamping today? Thank you. That still wasn't the greatest. Let me grab a little guy. And we'll just stamp the nuts and bolts in the corner. Get this out of the way. Got ink on me. Let's get these other little guys, and then we're gonna put this right inside our card. Some glue. See, now my glue's like coming out all slowly. Like I don't want to get ink on my inside. So there's our card. So that's card number 1. I am going to try and fix that. See if it's a little better. I feel like you guys are just so far away. If I could get in any closer. All right, and so this wasn't the greatest, so I'll restamp that and do it over. But that's card number 1. I'm gonna clean some of these stamps. I don't think we're gonna use this one anymore, so that I don't have, so I have enough blocks. I have more blocks, I just didn't. We'll do that in a bit. All right, so I don't know. I didn't show you guys the insides of the cards. We are going, I saved the hard one for last, but so we're going to do this one next, and it's just a fancy fold. Like, you're the most awesome dad. And again, if you use that he's the greatest, you could use this stamp set, but then like you could put Papa, great grandpa. I can't remember all of the sentiments, but then here's our grand finale. Hi, Ember. This one is a Father's Day card. And then look, it's like a workbench. Let me try and move it up. So this will be last because that one's going to be a little bit time consuming. But this one here is pretty simple. Looks like it's fancy, but it's not. So this is going to be a 4 1/4 by 9 piece of cardstock, and we scored it at 3 1/2. And This is 5 1/4 by 4, and that's going to go in the inside. This is 3 by 6, and it's scored at 3, so it's like a little 3 by 3 card. But this card, it's going this way, not like your normal card where you'll open it from the left, from right to left. We're going left to right. And so I have a piece of designer series paper that's 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. It's going to go right on there. And this one is 3 3/8 by 4 1/8, and that's going to go there. So let's adhere all our pieces. Oh, so I moved my camera and now you guys are crooked. Just trying to get you. Every time I go live, Facebook says that like the tools are no longer available. And I'm like, yes, I know that already. If I would have known that was going to happen, I would have never did the update on my phone. But that's what happened. I updated. So some people that are still able to do it, they haven't done the update on their, they haven't updated, I think, Facebook app, not so much their phone. Here goes this one. I will straighten you guys out. And then we're going to put this one, and remember we're putting it on the opposite. Well, I mean, even if you did it, you could turn it around. Okay. And I don't think I die cut. So we're not going to adhere this just yet, but we can go ahead and stamp Dad. And of course, that was the one stamp I didn't clean. So he's full of pebbled path. Nice. Why is it you always get the darkest colors on you? But yesterday I was using Berry Burst and I had it all over me. So let me clean this one. And I'm gonna use my foam pad. And I re-inked this since my other one was not as good. So I'm using Calypso Coral. Dad. Still didn't come out the greatest. And then I do not have my piece of Berry Vanilla. But since we're stamping, I have these pieces. We're going to stamp them measuring tape on crushed curry, the paintbrush on crumb cake. So the paintbrush is going to get stamped on crumb cake in crushed curry ink. The measuring tape and the other wrench are both going to be stamped in Pebble Puff, or did I do black? I think I did black. Memento. It's hard to tell when you're stamping on the cardstock. So I'm going to grab another block. Oh, I don't have another big one. Actually, I do. I have a few. This one's got my name on it. So we're going to do the wrench on here. And then, so these ones you don't have to do no coloring. And then let's get the measuring tape. And again, that's on crushed curry. And if you want the measurements, 1.5 by 2 crushed curry, 1 by 3 gray granite, and 1.5 by 3 crumb cake. So now we have to die cut these. I feel like all of a sudden I do not have enough room on my workbench. And I love this set because they do have the die cuts for all of the parts, all of the pieces, all of, oh, where's my, I need some old olive. Ah! Well, you guys know me. I always have to have something fall during my video. That's just me. And the reason I have to start taping these down is because my plates are a little warped. And that's just because of all the die cutting. I do have new plates. I do this all the time. I have new plates, but yet I don't pull them out. And I don't know what happened to my old olive cardstock. I have old olive somewhere. But you know what? I'm going to grab another piece. Well, let's die cut these, because then we're going to need to do our sentiment. Okay, so paintbrush. I was going to put these dies aside, but we still need them again. Our measuring tape, our wrench, and let me grab my, so we're going to do the bristles. So some olive. This is weird. Well, that's weird because I know I pulled the old olive piece out, but I probably lost it somewhere. And then we're going to go ahead and do our sentiment piece on Very Vanilla. All right. I'll find the piece after I'm done doing my video. That's what usually happens. You know, things always go awry when you're doing a video. I just try to keep going with the flow. But I know, okay, so here's our card. Let's stamp our sentiment. I got all these pieces. Let's stamp our sentiment. And we're doing that in Cajun Craze again. You're the most awesome. Yesterday I was trying to read this without my glasses. I was like, what are you doing? You would think it's nice and big, but when you get older, that's the first thing to go, is your good old eyesight. So we're going to put this on with dimensionals. I see more and more of my friends having to use reading glasses for a lot of reading. The bad thing is when you go to the store and you see, I went to Sam's Club the other day and I forgot my glasses. Now try reading prices without your glasses. Oh, it was horrible. I was like, I can't, when you think it says one thing and it's something else. So we're gluing our little old olive here so that it looks like our paintbrush is dipped in old olive paint. So for this, what I did is I just left a tiny bit of border, and you know what? I put the wrong side down on my paper. Huh. Oh well, it still looks good. I'm looking at my other one. Look, I used the check. I put the wrong side down. My bad. So all I did is I centered it here. And I just did a tiny border. You could do it however you want your flaps to open. So we're just going to add some glue here. That's too funny that I just noticed it. Of course, I did not notice it when I was gluing it down. So let's just hold this for a minute or so. That's probably good. So now we're going to put our tools, and we're going to put all of them on with dimensionals. So just 1, 2, 3. And I use the metallic dots again because we're going to make it look like these are hanging from some nails. So let's put our paintbrush, oops, our wrench. See, I get a little bit of glue and everything sticks to me. There's our wrench. And then our measuring tape is not gonna hang. But another idea is, I don't think I have a piece big enough, but what you can do is create a little shelf. So say, I should probably use my trimmer, but my scissors are right here. And this is very crooked. But if you want it to, this is just an example. You could put a piece of cardstock, pop it up on some dimensionals, and make it look like you have a shelf here. And your measuring tape is sitting up on the shelf. And then you could even run it through an embossing folder, like the wood embossing folder. Pretty good idea, huh? Okay, so now we're gonna glue those nuts and bolts here again. I had die cut some, but I still have these others. We're gonna put one, and one. These are the same. I don't know what happened to my other, but so there's card number 2. My thing keeps wanting to roll over here. So I did make the boo-boo and put the wrong designer series paper, the wrong side, but look, they look good. And you could always add another piece of Very Vanilla if you want to write more of a message, and you could add another tool. But there is card number 2. I need a drink of coffee. How about you? Okay, so now to this complicated guy. It's not complicated. I just make everything look complicated. It's no wonder you guys stick around with me. I'm getting all of this. You guys can see how messy my table is. And I don't like all that cluttery. Okay, get the instructions. And maybe this time, I'm gonna football. I'm gonna get all my instructions. Maybe this time I can do it without any little boo-boos. Hold on. I just have so much going on here. Normally you can't see all this mess I have. Now last week I swear I was able to zoom in, but I don't know. I tried doing it before I started the video. I tried after I started the video, and it's just not letting me zoom. All right, so this is 4 1/4 by 11, Misty Moonlight, and folded in half at 5 1/2. Now this piece here is going to be our little pop-up mechanism, and this is 3 3/4 by 10 1/2. And we are going to score it. Let me get this blade out. We are going to score it at 4 1/4, 4 1/4, 5 1/4, and 6 1/4. Right there. I put a little bit of like Sharpie there so I could tell where the quarter was. 6 1/4, because it's right in this groove. All right, so that's it on the scoring. So now we're just going to do that accordion fold. So in and out we can do. But we're going to go ahead and decorate it. Decorate it well before we stick it in the card, because it's so much easier. So now I should probably make sure that I have my right design. Oops, wrong. I do have the brown check. This one is going to go in the front, 5 1/4. This one is 3 5/8 by 4 1/8. I have a bunch of There's some more. There's another nut and bolt. I should put all these out. They're all still left in my bags. I was trying to die cut some of the stuff. With my class yesterday, I got a little sidetracked. Okay, so these ones are 3 3/4 by 7/8, and then I embossed them with the metal plate embossing folder. So we're gonna have to pull those aside for a minute. Here's a wrench. See, look, I stamped some of them. We need the pegboard. So well, I got myself all over the place. I'm trying to decide what to do. We'll do the pegboard in a minute. We're gonna color these tools again. So I gotta look at my, we're gonna do the wrench in blue again. So this is blueberry bushel. I probably could have used the brush end too, just to get this a little quicker. I rarely use the brush end. This is light, this one's dark. Just kind of darken those lines. And I'm probably not even getting on the lines, but it's fine. My smoky slate. And I'm gonna use the smoky slate on the oops, this is dark. I thought it was light. One side of my wrench is gonna be dark. Looks like I'm gonna have to be replacing. I've been using smoky slate. I use smoky slate, daffodil delight, and crumb cake the most out of my blends. So just that little part is gonna be, but now we need the measuring tape. It's gonna be there, and the inside we're gonna do smoky slate to kind of make it look like silver. So now there is a stamp that you can use to stamp this what we're going to color red, but I was trying not to pull out so many colors so that you didn't, so many different ink pads and everything. So since we were already using the red blend, I figured we'd just color it in. So in case you haven't seen the brush tip, that's what the brush tip looks like. So like if you have a lot of coloring in, it's just kind of a little hard to be precise because it bends. So let me just get around this circle. But like I said, there is a stamp that would stamp this color. So you could use real red ink. And then I think the measuring tape, this is daffodil. I don't know why I used daffodil when this could have been silver or smoky slate. And let me grab the dark real quick. And then now we're gonna die cut these. And I already colored the pencil in. Saved as one step. I appreciate you guys hanging in here with me. Thank you, Joan. Uh-oh, see, now there went my trimmer. What else is gonna fall? Here's the pegboard. We need the wrench again. And we need this. So these are both wrenches. I'm not sure what the difference. I don't know. There's a certain name. I don't know what they are. They're both wrenches. This is, I can't think of the name of this one here. But they're both wrenches. The pencil. And then I think I might have to run the measuring taper. Let's see if I can move this stuff around. Let me get this pencil on here. It wouldn't be so bad if I was doing this without trying to fit everything on. There we go. And here's our measuring tape. This wrench does not have a stamp for it, so it's just plain or no color to it. There's just not a stamp for it. Oops. All right, so we got all of these, and then now I'm gonna have a million little dots. I'm gonna take these off because we need to get our other plates for the embossing. So, you know, there's sandwiches that you build for what you're gonna do. This is the one that I'm gonna use is a 3D embossing folder. So it's called the metal plate. I looked, it is in stock. So I'm just gonna put these two pieces on here. And so you just need the nut. I think that's number 1. Yeah, number 1, and this is number 4 on a 3D. And just run that through. And then we have our metal plate looking pieces of silver foil. All right, now let's put all this back together. Oops. Okay, this card's gonna come along. This card's gonna come along. It's so fun. Okay, so let's glue these on. Again, these were 3 3/4 by 7/8. And I made these the length, but I did do a little teeny tiny border. So in case that, you know, the fold, it had anything to do with the fold. So I just wanted to make that you had a little bit of space in between, so it doesn't cover up the whole section, but it does cover up the whole section, the lengthwise. All right, let's put our designer series paper. I have the right side, the correct side. And then here's our pegboard. And our pegboard, we're gonna glue, because we're gonna put all the tools on. There's gonna be these dots everywhere. And if this hangs over, oops, I made it 3 3/4 because that's what the length of this is. But if it's a little long, you can cut it if it hangs over the side. Okay, so now let's get all our tools. There's our pencil. It's not a tool, but you do use a pencil if you're doing a lot of measuring. Here's our wrench. Here's our measuring tape. And trying to get all these dies out of the way. Oh shoot, I still need to cut some more. I still need our pliers, our other pliers. We're gonna have to die cut that. I must need this for something. And so we're gonna put our measuring tape here in a dimensional, and we're putting it here at the bottom so that it looks like it's sitting on this shelf. So where's my dimensionals? We're just gonna use one dimensional, just the closest you could get it to the bottom, just so that it looks like when you pop it up that it's sitting on that shelf. Our wrench, I think I might need some small dimensionals, some mini dimensionals for that one. I'll see if I don't remember what I used. We're gonna put this guy over here, and he does go behind the the measuring tape. And will this one fit now? But you know what? I have the ends that we can use, and those are long and thin, so those will work. But these guys, we just have to build up our pliers. I forgot about the pliers. So this guy here, our pencil is going to be glued to our workbench. All right. Let's lay that across there. Get this pegboard out of the way, and let's get our pliers built. I told you I have so many dies for this one. But aren't the tools so cute? They are super cute. Okay, so plier blades, plier handles. So the cardstock for those are the 1 by 2 on the foil and 3/4 by 2 on the basic black handles. So again, 1 by 2 piece of foil and 3/4 by 2 on the black. Did I say that right the first time? Probably not. Okay, let's get these out of the way. We're almost done. We're almost done. I don't know how long this video has taken so far. Let me get my silicone mat. And then I need to build these. Yesterday I was like, or the other day when I was building them, I was like, how come these aren't going right? But they go like that. I couldn't get them to. So we're just going to add some glue. Put those together like so. And we're going to add our handles. Make sure I have my handles the right direction. Yep. Just some glue here. Did any of you get these dies during Celebration? They offered them as a free choice during Celebration. That was another reason I wanted to use this set, because some people earned them. Okay, so there's our wrench. And I think I just put a dimensional here in the center. Denise, you probably have it. I didn't realize I had it. Oh shoot, my dimensional, you could see it. So look, I'm just kind of folding it in to try and hide it. And it'll still stick. So there's our pliers. And so what I did now with our metallic gems, we still have to do our front. So I put one on each corner, these bigger ones, to make it look like that's what's holding our pegboard up. And then I use the smaller ones on our tools to make it look like the tools are hanging. This one might have to go down. I think this one went down. Oops. But our tools are hanging from our pegboard. So that is it on our pop-up. So let's do this really quick. So this is 5 1/4 by 4 inch. Look, this is a pretty pattern too. I was gonna use this originally and then I went with this. Should I do this side just so you guys could see the difference? Let's do that side and then you guys could tell me. Like I said, the designer series paper always has 2 nice sides to it. So, and next I think I'm gonna stamp this after. We have to die cut again. One more thing, And this is the hexagon from the Nested Essentials dies. And let's die cut that. Now we can stamp it. Now I think that's the last of the die cutting. And boy, did I put this on Cricut. What the heck? How did I not notice that? You guys didn't tell me. Oh, I'm not going to be able to pull it off. We're just going to say it's supposed to be slanted. It's supposed to be there at an angle. You know, cards are like that nowadays. But you usually put another layer on there. Did I clean this? Ooh, I think we used it for the same. So now we're going to stamp Dad. You know me, I'm going to fix that. That's not going to stay Cricut like that. I just don't want to take up more of your time. So we're going to stamp Dad. And then we're going to stamp Happy Father's Day on another, just a piece of basic white cardstock. And we're doing that in Memento. Let's move this hammer out of the way. Get Happy Father's Day. I really need to clean my blocks too. And Happy doesn't look like it has enough ink. I think I need to re-ink this one. And this is only a 1/2 inch, I believe. Sentiment. A 1/2 inch by 3. But we're cutting the words out. And pretty simple, just straight. Day. Fathers. And happy. Okay. So now more dimensionals. Dimensionals. And I'm kind of running out. So dimensional. I'm going to use this on this one. Will this one fit here? Yep, that all fit there. And I have one dimensional here. Okay. We don't ever waste those sides on those dimensionals. Okay, so this is going to go right across the center. And then we're just going to, these can just, however you want them. You could put them in a straight line. I kind of just angled each of them. And Happy Father's Day. Okay, so now we're going to use those metallic dots again. And put one big one, a small one, and another small one. Okay, so now let's put our fancy pop-up inside. So now you're going to fold it back like so. And you want it to go, since it's 1 inch, let me get my ruler. This will help you, is just go like 1 inch from your score line. Get a, no, is it a, no, is it an inch? Yeah, it's an inch. So just that little tick mark, and then you know where, kind of where to line it up, if that makes sense. So we're going to add glue all to this back side. I didn't measure my first one. I just eyeballed it, but I wanted to show you. I'm going to turn it this way, and then just make sure that you have the same room on each side. And this we're going to have to hold down for a bit, and then we have to glue this other side. And just close the lid and hold it. Now I hope I did this right. Like I said, last one I did, I just eyeballed it. I'm pretty sure I did it right. Just gonna hold it for a minute, and ta-da! There's our pop-up. So there's our little workbench, and that's how it goes. So that's card number 3. And I'm sorry about my messy desk. You guys get to see what I work with. I don't know, eventually. So tell me, which one do you like better? The one that has the Calypso coral in it or the blue gingham? They're both cute cards. So this is my card that I call a surprise card, because when your dad opens it, he's not expecting to find a tool bench in there, a workbench. So that is my 3 cards for the day. If you guys want the make and takes for it, like I said, just spend $35 in my online store this week and by Wednesday, and I will send you the make and take packets with all the pieces to put the cards together, and I will email you the PDF. So we have our toolbox card. We have our fancy fold card that opens. You're the most awesome dad. And our pop-up workbench card. I can't decide which one I like better. What? I know, yes, Denise, get this set out. Just like my crafting one. I don't know if you've seen pictures from yesterday's card class, and I made the little name tags. Actually, right here, look. I made myself one. I hadn't used this crafting together stamp set. So I said, you know what? I need to pull it out and I need to use it. Laura made us a cute on-stage gift with it. And I was like, oh, I love that set. But I hadn't used it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Pull out your stamp sets and just get to work and make some cards. It's so much fun. All right, everybody. You have a great rest of your Sunday. I got to go get ready to go to church. And have a great week. Take care, everybody. Bye.